Okay, everybody, so let's continue the demo quickly. I'm almost out of time. So you can either, as I told you, start with Visual Studio, or from the SQL Server over here, you can choose SQL Server 2008. You can choose Business Intelligence Development, which is actually Visual Studio. It's Visual Studio. It's the same thing. So I'll choose it just to show you. See, this is a normal Visual Studio. And I'll start a new project. If you have installed SQL Server 2008, you will find the Business Intelligence project, and this is Analysis Service project. So this is an example. I'm not going to change the name so that I can quickly just start with it. I'm going to build my cubes on the AdventureWorks data warehouse. So it's already there. I'm just going to start with it. The simple thing is you have here data sources. This is where you connect to your databases. You know, the sources where you get the data from. So simply, I think you are all familiar with this. You just create a new connection and stuff. You should be familiar with this. So I already have a connection to AdventureWorks DW, and that's about it. Which user you will be using? Usually, it's a good idea to use the service, a specific account. You create just for analysis services for this case. But for this demo purposes, I'll use the service account. This is not a good idea. Remember, this is not the best practice. So this is the connection to the AdventureWorks. The next step is, I don't create a cube directly from here. You should have a view, because I don't want the whole data warehouse. I just need, for example, specific tables. So I'll create a data source view. And again, it's a simple wizard. I'm not trying, by the way, you will find more advanced stuff later, but this is just a quick demo. These are all the tables over here. Now, I know that what I need really to work on right now is two tables, let's say, fact internet sales and fact reseller. Just quickly to explain to everybody, this company, AdventureWorks, sells by two ways. Either directly to the customer or by using their website. So that's why I need these two tables, because they are different, of course. They have different. Now, the best thing is I don't really have to choose all the dimensions. I can simply, choose to add related tables for this one and for this one. So it adds all the dimensions by relationship, of course, with both. See, the customer is linked, and for example, the customer is important in some cases. Employee is important only for reseller, directly, while on the internet it's not important. Anyway, you decide on which tables. For example, I know that I might need some other tables, like the product category and subcategory for this example. So I'll click next, and that's about it. This is my view. Now, since I added two, remember I told you it's a star schema, right? Table, dimensions. But I added now two. So it might really look ugly, a little ugly, as you can see here. But this one in the end is more like a star schema. See over here? It's like this one is linked to all of these. You can organize this in other ways in Diagram Organizer, but I don't have time really to explain this. So I'll just simply go and create a new cube. I'll just use the wizard again and click Next. Use existing table, yes. The first thing is it asks you for a major group tables. You know what this means? Fact tables. The tables that hold the value, the sales, for example. So you might even say, please suggest the tables to me, but it might get wrong. So for example, I don't really need these two. I just need these tables. Okay, what are the important columns that you really need here? What we call the measures. For example, it's important for me to know the sales amount, right? But is it important to know the revision number? No, I cannot really calculate stuff based on revision number. So you might want to decide to not use some of these columns, but the rest looks fine for me. These are all the dimensions that will be created. Again, the wizard gets some stuff wrong, like for example, including the fact tables as dimensions, which is wrong. Fact tables are just fact tables. You don't use them as dimensions. Okay, so everything is ready. Please create the cube for me. The cube looks a lot like the data source view with an important difference, which is the color. Yellow and blue. Most people really get confused between these two. They work as if this is the cube, and then they discover it's the data source view. So the easiest way to differentiate is by the color. Again, this is how it looks. This is how it's linked. The most important dimension is usually the time. Time dimension contains dates and calendar and stuff like this. Calendar and calendar stuff like quarter and year. Everything looks ready? Yeah. Well, the next step to do is to build. Everything is okay. Now, deploy. What does this mean? Upload this to analysis service. Again, a very common question is, how can I see this database? It's like you have a new database, right? Simply, you can open Visual Studio, okay, and I will disconnect from the SQL Server engine and connect again. But this time to what? Analysis services. And this way, you will find that I have a database named Analysis Service Project 3, right? The same name for my project. How can you change it? Again, this is Visual Studio. You should have figured this out by yourself by now. You can simply go to the properties, deployment, and change the name and the server. It's easy. The end. So, what I need next is, since this is deployed, I can really browse the data now. Again, remember the dimensions? What do I need, for example, for the raw data? You might say I need product, but I need the product category. Oops. This is just a number, It's not the name of the product. Yeah, so what I need to do is, let's drag this one back. And I need to go to the dimensions for product. See, this is the columns available. I simply need to add the name of the category. See over here, if you can't see it, this is the product name, English product name. And for the category, again, this is the English product subcategory. And this is the category name. I'm just dragging stuff. Let's get back. You shouldn't be able to, you shouldn't be able to see it here unless you do what? Rebuild and deploy again. By the way, this could take a huge amount of time. This is a small database, but it could take hours in huge databases. So once this is finished, it's already deployed like here. You need to click on this button. Reconnect, Remember this button. A lot of people got lost because of this. So again, before this, let me add the internet here. This is the measure, the amount. This is the total amount for the sales. Let me drag product name. Do you see everyone? Pretty easy to calculate. The last one, category name. Can you see what happened right now? I'm adding more dimensions, This is one of the dimensions. See, I can drill over here and see more data if I wanted. And what about stuff like this? The last thing, sorry. Time, yes. The ship date. Drag this one over here. But what is this? How do you want to view this? Quarter, right? Year and quarter and stuff. You need to do more work. I won't explain it now, but you need more work, hierarchies and stuff. Last thing to just demonstrate is I could simply filter by customer. So I can say, for example, display all the data for these two customers. Again, I should have displayed the name instead. And the data, changes. Everyone, this is basically the starting point. Now, what is the next point? If the cube is ready, give it to either applications, right? Excel or whatever stuff you have. The real work is there's a lot of work here, but we don't have time to explain this. Maybe in the future, inshallah, we will have sessions to explain more about how to change stuff in cubes, dimensions. But at least I'm hoping that you got a basic idea or understood really why do we need to work with BI. Thank you very much.